Hey everybody, just, update on the young one. Last time you saw us, we put the saddle on for the first time. And really what we're, this is kind of the next day, what we're doing is we've put the saddle on, moved him around a bit, just like we did before, move the hind end, move the front end. But now what we're going to do is before Jody actually gets on him, I just want to make sure that he sees somebody above him. One of the exercises that we do also is called the Jeffries method. It's one that's really popular with a lot of natural horsemanship, and we do it too. The theory behind it is amazing. It just takes a long time, and I didn't want to take up that time with to show on the video with what this time. And if you guys really want to see what the Jeffries method is, we can, comment below. Let us know. We can definitely show you. Jody can jump up and down on the horse, but we'll definitely show you and kind of describe the theory behind it. But right now, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to move his hind end and move his front end from above. Main thing we want to do is make sure that he sees us from above. What I'm really kind of looking for is just seeing how he handles, one movement in the saddle. I'm going up here, kind of grabbing it, moving it around. That bothers him a little bit. Just as much as I can get him as safe as I can and used to stuff above him before Jody actually gets on. I'm going to touch the saddle, I'm going to touch him, make sure he sees me out of both eyes, because that's a really hard part for young horses, is when they see us on one side and then all of a sudden we appear on that other side. So I want to make sure that he can move around, and my good pony horse is not going to bother with him smelling her. Hopefully, move the stirrups a little bit, don't touch her, and now walk off. And when I walk off, I want to ask him to move that rear end around. She's going to help me out a little bit. I'm going to kind of use my boot exactly where Jody's stirrups, where she's going to ask for him to move that rear end. And then forward out of it. I know, she got you, didn't she? And then release, because he gave. And a lot of this is about giving in the pull for him. When I go forward, he should stay right here. And that's really what we've been teaching him this whole time, is basically just halter breaking him. I'm going to ask him to move that rear end again. Ask my horse. And the good thing about this horse is she knows exactly what her job is. So she's going to kind of help me out and ask him to move that rear end. And now I'm going to ask him to move the front end. So I'm just going to kind of walk to him. And what I'm looking for him to do is pick up the right front foot and step it to the right. Like that. Come on, buddy. And he gets a little stuck in the shoulders. And that scares me a little bit as far as when Jody gets on. Because when they get stuck in the shoulders, that's when they can buck. The shoulders stop and the rear end keeps going. So this is what I'm really working on. There we go. There we go. Come on, bud. Good boy. Come on, Stardust. Just asking him to start to follow the feel. Whether it's toward me or away from me, where does that energy go? There you go. Good, 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 good. And then we walk off. And then he seems a lot lighter too. When he starts moving that back end and that front end, he starts to get lighter on this, and so then we can move around. So then we do that side, and now we got to do the other side. Whatever you do on the left, you do on the right. So we're going to go in this direction. So I'm going to get on this other side. I want to move that hind end first. Stardust. Not so aggressive. It is nice when you have a pony horse who knows kind of what we're doing. Easy, girl. I know. Easy. So that kind of helps me out. I don't have to do so much, and I can control her on how much. She doesn't really want to move. There we go. Now I'm going to move the shoulders. So I'm going to basically put her in a haunches in position and have her, there you go. And you can see this side's a little easier for him. Using her as a wall. Good girl. I'm going to walk off. I know I got a little close to the arena rail there, so I apologize, but this is, we're not directors. We're kind of horse people. We're taking advantage of whatever we can. So I'm just going to ask the horses him to move those shoulders over again. So from her, I'm asking her to try to do a little bit more of a haunches in, so it gives him a wall. So that way he shifts his weight back and then moves that shoulder over. He shifts his weight back. Come on, you can do it. And then moves his shoulder over. Very good. Good boy. Stardust. And then let him move a little bit. We want him to move forward. And really what I'm looking for is him to be real light on this bridle. Because that's him giving in the pull. Move them up a little bit. Does he? There you go. Good boy. Can I move faster? And then when I say ho, will he stop with me or does he go ahead of me? Does he stay as we're doing things? Will he put his head down even from me up above him? Make sure this is all good. Can he handle little things like that? Because that's going to be really important when Jody gets on. He's already seen it from above. And eventually, too, this will be, we're going to take him out. Tomorrow we're probably going to take him out, just pony him without a rider first. Really start exposing him to everything we can, because this first little bit, he's going to be the most willing to do anything because he doesn't know anything. So as much as we can expose him to everything is what we're going to do. But anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the camera off and get on. All right, we changed our mind. We just decided why not go out a little bit before Stardust. It's a nice day, so might as well take advantage of it. But basically just taking him out. We have a dog. We have wind. Why not? And all we're going to do is we're just going to pony him around, just exposing him to everything. We're also going to walk over some poles. Just anything that we take a normal horse on. Now, the one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to go on a trail where it's thin and small. If you notice, we're wide open. So that way he has to learn to follow us. Now, one thing he's got to do is he's got to stay beside us. He can't go in front. My pony horse helps me out with that. And he's just got to stay right here. And if he doesn't, then we'll adjust. But we really just want him to kind of stay here. And we're just going to, go over some logs, go over some stuff, expose him to everything we can. Not go far. Just go a little ways. Good girl. Ooh. Good boy. Good girl. Good boy. And not that exciting, but we might as well get him used to everything. Go down this little ditch here. So one thing this does do is it really lets him feel that saddle move. He goes over that log. What does it feel like? When he goes through this ditch, what does that feel like? Pay attention to me. Thank you. Get used to culverts. Get used to a confident horse also. Moving with him. We are videoing. Sometimes we'll actually move up. We'll do a lot of moving up and coming down. But with videoing, we're just going to kind of stay at walk. We'll video that a little bit later. And one thing that you're going to see when we go by up here too is we're going to go by other horses. If anybody knows, whenever you go somewhere and the other horses react, we typically have all the other one horse reacts, they all go with it. I want to get him used to when we go by other horses. If they react, he should just stick with this pony horse. This pony horse does have a tendency to point her ears back at him, but just stay with him. And that's the importance of a good pony horse is she has to keep her sanity no matter what. And she's going to show him how to react, how to adjust a situation. This is how you should be. Follow the rider. No matter where we go. Like I said, this isn't going to be a long outing, but it's something. It's something going out. It's something doing something. He's got to move. He's got to go somewhere. This is what life is now. Life is going out. Life is riding. We're going to go over, we have a couple logs over here. We're going to go over them. The one is a little bit high for this mare. She might hop, so I'm going to go over, for today, go over the smaller ones. And there's a back through. We won't back him through, obviously, but I just want him to back up. Good boy. To be able to stay with this horse no matter what. really doesn't care about much. And this is just telling Jody, too, what he's going to be like when we take him out. You know, a little bit of not paying attention, but really not caring about a whole lot. Now we're going to go buy these other horses. I'm walking at you, Jody. Nothing like a two-person crew. And you can see we have other horses along the side. And he wants to pay attention to them, but if you watch, the pony horse doesn't. So we're just going to put him back to where he should be and continue walking. Back up. Interesting smells. Yes. Now when we get back to the barn, we'll just pony him in. I'm going to pet him outside. He's kind of pulling on me. So good girl, Stardust. It's helpful when she's kind of backing, because it makes him back off. Hey. And when he does lean on my hand, what I do is just, I maneuver my hand. I don't push it at him. I just wiggle it. So that way there's nothing steady for him to lean on. And then you can see he backs off. I try not to ever go at him, because then it turns into a game, especially with the gelding. They start to learn to nip and bite, and it's like, who can be quicker? And you can see he's not nipping and biting anymore. He's breathing. Thank you for good timing. And I'm just going to halt my horse, and give him a pet. You know, it's okay. Everything's good. Going to wiggle the saddle again. Move the stirrups. And you can see he really doesn't care. So next thing, we're going to hop on. All right. We just took him out for a little bit and put our pony horse up. And now Jody's going to get on and off. And what we're going to do just is a little bit of shoulder in once we get on. We're really not going to move out too much. I just want him to get used to the process of getting on and off and for that reward. Because he's done a lot today. You know, he's gone through quite a bit. He's been out, been ponied. So we just want to finish up with something, you know, where he doesn't have to do a lot of maneuvering. It's just a matter of getting used to. So what Jody's going to do is she's first going to get on the good side, and what she's going to do is first just rub him, you know, move that stirrup around a little bit. And I'm always going to be on the side that she's on. You know, she's going to pet him, rub him, move around him like normal. And then put a stirrup in with just the ball of her foot, jump up and down, get him used to that motion. Take her foot out, stop, take her foot out, and then walk away. Now the one thing we do have to really watch is that she has just the ball of her foot in the stirrup. So that way she can easily get it out. She's going to do it again. And this time she might actually kind of put a little bit of weight in there and actually put her center of gravity over his. I'm going to have him in a slight left bend. She's going to go up, rub him a little bit, let him get his balance, and then she's going to come on down. Now watch your foot, Jody. You know, just kind of, and what we're really looking for is her trying to get really over that center balance. Now this next time when she hops up, what she's going to do is she's going to rub her hand like it was her foot across his butt, just in case. You can see this is really stressful. Just so that he can start to feel, you know, something over his butt, because what if the owner, you know, we may never touch his rear end when we mount, but the owner might, or what if a brush does it or something. So she's just going to do that, then she's going to hop down. She's going to hop up, rub her hand all around both sides. Make sure he kind of sees her out of both sides. And you can see he's kind of starting to get bored. He's playing with the rope. I'm just going to keep him here. And then he'll start to focus when something's new. She's going to rub him on the rear end. Make sure that feels exactly like as if her foot was going across. So that way if he were to jump, she could easily abort and get off. You know, and make everything safe for each one. And you can see he's looking at her. Look at everything. I'm going to let him see her, even though he's not really more fascinated with the rope. This time she's just going to put her foot in, take her foot out, and walk away. So that way he actually feels her legs on both sides. And we're going to try to do it in fairly smooth motion. She's going to get up, rub, put her leg over, and then bring it on back. And I'm going to actually kind of get him to release his jaw a little bit. Good. He started to lock. As soon as she got up, he went right to the locked jaw. And so I just stuck my finger in his mouth and just kind of released that. So this time you're going to stay up there for a little bit. You're going to go kind of back and forth, be a little bit rhythmic. Now if you were to be scared, I'd actually ask him to walk a little bit too between these sessions. But he's pretty relaxed. He's just kind of chilling out with us. This is all pretty good and getting used to. Now just pet him up there. All right, now hop off. And now we'll go to the other side. And I'm going to actually walk him a little bit before we do the other side. Just let him move a little bit. Good. And help. All right. That'll probably be good. You don't like that? Okay. It's however you want. I'm holding. So it's rinse and repeat. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And you can see this is a little different for him. I just want to make sure they get used to both sides, because we might have an owner who's, might only get on this side. Or you're on a trail, and you don't want that to be the first time your horse gets used to being on both sides. Over, try to pat him. Now this time you're going to go up, over, and then right back down. Remember to rub his butt. I want to make sure he knows you're there. That way. And I'm on this side that she's on, so if something were to go wrong, I can pull right toward Jody and keep everything as safe as I can. Now this time you're going to go up, sit a little bit, wiggle, and then come back down. Pay attention. Good. Good. All right. And now you get down. We're going to walk around a little bit, because in his eyes, that's kind of a session. But this time what we're going to do now is we're going to get on the side that's most comfortable, which is usually his left side, right? And when we've worked, that's kind of been his side. So we're going to have Jody get on that side, and we're just going to do a little bit of kind of shoulder in, both directions, and then hop off, and that'll be his session for today. And I'm going to use the flag that we've always been using to help provide forwardness. Now Jody's actually going to have the reins. We have the reins hooked on either side, like a side pull, even though it is a halter. We're going to put the side pull on tomorrow, just enough for her to have something. But really, I'm doing all the work. She's going to ride it like he's a perfect horse, like he's been ridden for 10 years, and I'm going to do all the work. I'm going to show him what her calf means, what everything means, and kind of let him feel her up there. So she's going to really work on being in balance. So what I'm going to ask him to do is we're just going to ask him to move that rear end over to the right in forward motion. And so he can start to feel her in motion. And I'm going to ask that rear end a little bit more. Like I said, we're using the flag just how we did before. Now, I'm going to ask his shoulders to come a little bit this way as the rear end goes that way. If you notice, as she touches with her calf, I touch that rear end. We're starting to make the connection, and now we walk forward. And then we're going to do it again. We're yielding that hind end. She's bringing her shoulder around. We're trying to make it as obvious for him, make him understand that our calf really does talk to that hind leg. So that's where a lot of people just think horses should know. Well, no, he doesn't know. There you go, buddy. There, you feel that release? Good job, buddy. And we're going to halt. She's going to halt her seat. She's not going to touch him because he doesn't know what that means yet, but he does know what it means for me. So he starts to understand, oh, trying to make the connection and the transfer over to a rider. And so now we're going to go to the right. Ready? And so I'm going to ask him to walk off from behind. If you've been to our clinics, we really emphasize walking off from behind, walking off from those hind legs to really work on, them pushing. Now his shoulders are leaking out a bit. You feel that, Jody? So I'm going to actually back up a little bit and say, bring your shoulders this direction there now. Do you feel that? And as soon as he reconnects those shoulders, she feels a release in his back. I'm going to ask for a little more impulsion because this is kind of not going anywhere. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Good. Ooh. That was pretty good right there, wasn't it? And we're going to ride forward to a halt. She halts her seat. I halt him. Let's just let him out a little bit on the line. And then we'll be done. He's done really good so far. We want to keep it going. We don't want to push it too much. So we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to ask him to push off from behind. And so Jody's going to ride. I'm going to guide. So in his mind, she's just kind of a sack of potatoes, but in reality, she's really riding. She's giving him the cues just exactly like she would be if she were riding a 10-year-old horse, and he's as light as a feather. And I'm just helping him out. I can guide that hind leg. I can say shoulders move this way, and see he knows what that means. Very good. I don't know if you guys could see that, but he just really was nice and light. When I said, bring your shoulders this way, he really nicely picked that left front foot up and stepped to the left. So now, Jody, you're going to ride him toward me, and we're going to change direction in forward motion. Very good. Oh, good. And he changed the bend. I'm really looking at that. I love that. That means he's loose in his back. Good. How is he feeling, Jody? You feel really good? Okay, I'm going to let him out just a little bit more. Let's ask for just a little bit more speed. And we just want to let him move a little bit. Now let me do it. Let's see what he's got. Now I'm going to walk with him a little bit so this doesn't have to be quite as tight of a circle. There we go. Very nice. Well, I think he's going to gait. A little more. Up. Good boy. Good boy. And walk. Now ride toward me. Good boy. Good. Now you ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it. I'll help with, oh, we're pooping. Yep. That'd be good. That would be a hitch. Batman, we don't need your help, buddy. We have our lovely cat joining us, who's not in the camera, but really is trying to be part of the series. Ready? We're going to ask him to go on up. Just nice and light. What Jody's doing is she's just adding her energy. And I'm just going to add a little bit of, I'm going to actually ask him to move on up. And I want the transition to be smooth, just like that. There we go. Bring the shoulders this way. Now ask him to move one more time. There we go. A little more, buddy. A little more. Thank you. Attaboy. Good boy. And walk. And halt. Good boy. Come here. And if you notice, I don't ask him to disengage to halt. I try to draw him into me, or I walk to him and halt him square. I don't want him to disengage. Not, because I really want to keep him engaged and keep him thinking forward, 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 because that's what's going to keep us safe and really encourage lengthening and movement of the spine. So now Jody's going to dismount in one nice swoop. Which side do you want to dismount on? Okay. I'm going to stand on this side. I'm going to hand him to her because she's the rider. I don't want to be the one that really rewards him, taking the saddle off. We really don't want to transfer that all over to Jody so that he thinks, she's the cat's meow. But anyway, the excitement, talking about the cat's meow. Hello. we're helping. But that's a, that's the kind of first ride we really like to see. He's moving. He did everything we wanted him to do, and we're going to put him up. So hopefully we'll have that same success tomorrow. All right, see you guys later.